Alright, here's the story about how somebody tried to take me out by loosening 4 out of the 5 lug nuts on my back passenger tire. Okay, so here are the 4 lug nuts that were loosened on my back passenger tire. If you notice, there's like this cap that's supposed to be on all of them. So if we look at my passenger side front tire, this is what it's supposed to look like with all 5. So what they did is they removed the caps and then loosened the 4 lug nuts with a torque wrench and then put the caps back on, but they were not able to put the caps on as tightly. So when I brought it into Bell Tire, the mechanic noticed that 3 of them were just loosely placed back on there. One of them was missing, so he went ahead and checked the tightness or torque level of the actual lug nuts. So February 2021, about 2 weeks after I had been fired from the firm and framed for all that bullshit. It was February 11th. It was my birthday. I popped into Duke's for like maybe 30-40 minutes. It was quick. Bars were still closing super early at that point. And I got out to my car, turned my car on, and I had tire pressure 0 on my passenger side front tire. So I'm like, what the hell? Must be a hole in my tire. Next day, I get it out to Bell Tire, and I'm thinking I'm just taking it there for them to fix a leak or a hole in the tire. And I'm sitting there in the lobby, and the mechanic comes out to me after a little bit, and he's got his hand like this, and he's staring at me like something's wrong. Like, this dude is looking into my soul. He looks like he just saw a ghost. I was like, damn, is my car that dirty? And he has 3 of the caps that go on top of the lug nuts to protect them from debris and, stuff that might fly up off the road, just a barrier between your lug nuts and any of that stuff. From what I understand, that's kind of their main purpose. I don't know anything about cars, so please don't come for my life on that if I'm mistaken. Um, but he's handing them to me, and he's like, one of them's missing, one of them's untouched, and then these 3 were just loosely placed back on top of the lug nuts, but they weren't secure. And I'm like, okay, and like, so what do we do? And he's still like staring at me like, and he's like, and 4 out of the 5 lug nuts on your tire were severely loosened. And I was like, what does that mean? Can that happen naturally? This is a pretty new car. That would be weird. And he's like, ma'am, no. That's something that needs to be done by hand. You have to have like a torque wrench or an air gun thing. I don't know much, guys. I'm trying, but it's one of those like automatic tools. Pulls them right up for you. But I'm like, oh, someone did this. Like, somebody did that. And I was like, so you probably need, those lug nuts. Like, one isn't like enough, and he's like, no. And I was like, okay, cool. So like somebody tried to knock me off, like the perfect crime. Because you don't even know when that's going to happen. It could vary depending on how much the person drives, depending on the road conditions, their, speed, where they're driving, depending on the car wreck. I don't know if anybody's checking the lug nuts to see if they were totally tightened. So I'm processing this in front of this guy where he's looking at me looking for answers like, why do you have a hit on you? Like, what's going on? And I'm trying to figure that out myself. And I just look at him, I go, oh no, like, I don't have anything, like, I'm not involved in anything like that. Like, that's not me. Like, I don't have any of that shit in my life. Like, that's not my thing. And he's like, yeah, sure, lady. He's like, well, you need to like be careful. I tightened them back up and, but seriously, like, you should go to the police. And I was like, yeah, definitely. Like, and I did. I went to the police and yeah, nothing came of it. But I'm sitting there thinking like, oh my God, like, who, how, why? Like, who wants to do that to me? That's so mean. But, I'm thinking, I don't have any type of shit like that with anyone in my life. only beef I have is with Ali Van Orden and Jamie Brizzolera, you know, but I was like, what is going on? I couldn't, I'm still giving them the benefit of the doubt at this point, even though they've proven to be diabolical contract stalkers, but I'm still like, damn, I can't really see Van Orden on all fours with a torque wrench pulling that shit. Mostly because I don't know if she'd be able to get up, but like still, you know. But I'm thinking, okay, the firm just smoked me, but at this point I was still thinking, okay, I got caught in the middle of a repulsive love triangle and I got scapegoated. It's a scandal at a small law firm that has an insane storyline. I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know the depths of what had been going on there and how it ties into everything. But at that point, I'm like, who's putting a hit on me? And what's the price tag? I want to know what kind of numbers we're talking. But no, seriously, super messed up. Not funny at all. None of this is funny. This is all really messed up, but I have a tendency, I have to joke. I have to joke. I have to take it lighthearted, but it's certainly not. It is diabolical. This is horrific shit. It has been devastating to my life. And this is the receipt that I got from Bell Tire. You can see that it says lug nuts, question mark, question mark, question mark. And you can see that he made a little note of it in the comment section, 2020 Equinox passenger rear. So I went in not too long after this happened, and I wanted to try to talk to the mechanic that worked on my car and get a verified statement from him. And I went in and I was like, hey, can I talk to this guy? He was the mechanic on my car the other day. And they're like, he's no longer employed with Bell Tire. And I was like, oh, of course he's not. So that was a dead end. A couple months after the initial incident, I was at Gravity Restaurant, which formerly was Malarkey's, and Gosha apparently used to work there. But when I got back out to my car, I saw that 4 caps had been removed again. This time it was my driver's side back tire. And then additionally, there was 1 cap that had been removed on my driver's side front tire. So I panicked and I was like, oh my God, it's happening again. Didn't want to drive it. I was scared to even try to get it to a tire shop. Ended up getting it out there. I told the mechanics the whole story. They checked all of the lug nuts for me, and this time none of the actual lug nuts had been loosened. It was just that the caps had been removed, and I don't know if that's a product of the fact that I was only in Gravity for about 10 minutes. It was a quick in and out, so they didn't have enough time to get to the lug nuts and finish the job or whatever, or if it was intentionally just to terrify me and psychologically mess with me and try to make me look like a paranoid crazy person. Either way, really messed up. And I also reported this one to the police, and there was not even an investigation or anything. So yeah, my life changed forever on February 12th, 2021. And there's the story.